What's up, freedom fighters and truth seekers? We are here with Chloe, immaculately dressed. I love it. And Chloe is from the Assange team, a coordinator. She has been connecting with campaigns all across the world to bring them together for this essential cause. Chloe, why do you work for the campaign? Why is this important to you?
This is the most important press freedom case of the 21st century. There just isn't anything as vital and as important as this case. And of course, on one hand, we have Julian's condition. Julian's now into his 13th year of some form of isolation or incarceration, which is torture, which is absolute torture, happening in my city, here, in front of our very eyes. That in itself is enough for anyone to be concerned and join our movement. But also because of I say chilling, and I use the term often, but we've gone past chilling. We are now at some sort of ice age response to what this means for press freedom and journalists, especially national security reporting and journalists who expose and inform the public about the things that governments do in the dark when they think nobody is looking. That kind of journalism is more vital than any other kind of journalism in the world. That's the truth of it. And if we allow this extradition to happen, if we allow the American government to, firstly, completely screw up their own constitution, but overreach in such a vulgar display of power, it is the death of journalism. That is what it is. It is the death of journalism. And it's happening in front of our very eyes. So if they do this when everybody is looking, what will they do when they think no one is looking?
Such a good question. That's the second person today we've heard say that if Julian Assange is extradited, that is the death of journalism. That's huge. Now, what I'm also getting an air of and seems really important is the connections to the military-industrial complex. In my work, I look at the arms trade and breaking the ties between the arms trade and our education system. But here, everyone's talking it more about like exposing war crimes. And this really comes from the heart of people wanting peace, people wanting to live in a peaceful, better world. Yeah. Is this a part of your ambition to be a part of this campaign?
Yes, absolutely. And I think what's been exposed more recently politically in what's happening in Gaza and the protests that have taken over London, which has been fantastic, those displays of solidarity and people are coming out in their hundreds of thousands, what it makes me think about is, oh my God, we need WikiLeaks. Oh my God, we need journalistic institutions that get to the truth. Because what we know is there's no journalists allowed into Gaza, for example, to report on exactly what's happening on the ground. The IDF is putting out continual propaganda, and that's being taken in by a mainstream legacy media that no longer question the narrative, that form their own ridiculous narratives based off power, based off political connections. And what we need are truth tellers. And these truth tellers that we have are scared, because actually if what happens to Julian goes ahead, then any country can take a journalist from somewhere else, say we don't like what they've said, they're going to be put in prison. Now, if we were talking about Russia wanting to get its hands on Julian, we would be up in arms. But because of the connection, the military connection with the United States, our special relationship, we allow these things to happen. And it is the cost, the cost is British justice, British democracy. I feel shamed. I feel shamed to be British with it. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. We used to stand for something, and now I'm not sure what we are, apart from America's poodle. And actually what's interesting, in the wording of the non-assurances, it's so pathetically obvious to me that the US can't even be bothered or doesn't even feel the need to make it look like a real assurance. They are so assured themselves that the British justice system will go along with whatever has been set by the American government. And what an embarrassment that is.
That's for real. The British shame is real. People can't understand. The illusion of British foreign policy being for justice and peace in the world really has fallen over the past year particularly.
Yeah.
America's poodle. I'm sure you've all got something to say about the US-UK relationship, so get that in the comments. Final question. As a coordinator of the international campaign, You've had such a unique experience. I want to know what the most interesting element of that organising has been.
Wow, I mean, all of it has been fascinating and depressing, you know, and I mean, the movement on the ground, the supporters, the politicians, the people we have on our side are some of the most inspiring, brave leaders that anyone could ever have on their side. We have all the good guys with us, and I know that, and it gives me comfort. But the fact that, you know, it's allowed to happen to Julian, what is happening, in front of our eyes, without us being able to stop it, is really, really depressing. So I'm always motivated by anything that feels like a fuck you to state power. That's what I want to see. I like it when people are angry. I like it when people are on the streets. I like it when people recognize and return to their inherent power, because for too long we have closed it down, we've shut it down. You know, we've got it in the government happening now. There are all sorts of restrictions happening about public protest, what you can and can't do. We are living in an authoritarian state. That's what's happening. And we need to fight and we need to resist. And as I always say, no surrender, no retreat.
Return to your intrinsic power. When Chloe was just talking about getting out on the streets, standing in your power as a citizen of the world, not just a citizen of the world, a creator of our world. So get out, make your voice heard, and free Assange to free us all.
Thank you.
Thank you.